question I can ask them. Shout out your question. What is it? I'm ready. All right. Does anyone, can we all acknowledge that Larry's the best looking person in the room right now? Can we all acknowledge that I'm the second best? No? Okay. I saw that coming, but I was hoping it wouldn't. I'm secretly disappointed in all of you. All right. Well, hey, I got there we go. I got one supporter. Yes, finally. And a whole bunch more. All right. I'm going to sit down here, talk show style. Would anybody watch my talk show? Would anybody watch my talk show? Do I look like I fit in with the band with the black shirt and the red tie? I do, so I don't care if you said no. Well, hey, I got just a couple questions I want to ask you guys. First of all, oh my gosh, I was so psyched to have you guys here tonight, man. Are you guys happy, excited? This is good?
We're so stoked to be here. Seriously. You guys are awesome. You guys are a really great crowd, and this has been really good. Thank you for having us, Jason.
Dude, love it, man. I mean, we've become best friends over the last 2 months as I've been able to hang out with you like 3 or 4 times, so I assume we're like super tight. Real close. Oh, here it comes.
It's evident in the tie and the shirt, of course.
I look nice.
You do.
Thanks, man. Hey, Nikita was supposed to wear a tie, but Sean over here told him not to. Isn't that mean? Everybody boo Sean. Boo. Oh, that's funny. Sean's a friend from Fury too. All right, here we go. We'll get started because I tend to waste time, is what I'm told by the rest of the student ministry staff. So I'm sorry for that. I'm chatting. Dude, okay. If you could give us in 4 words, all right? This is the hardest question. It's the first one, so I really want to stump you. 4 words. Each of you can say a word if you want, or 2 of you can say 2, or Nikita will probably say all 4. But in 4 words, describe Everfound. Larry won't talk to me.
Well, I'd say we're all pretty passionate about music, and
that's a lot of words.
well, I'm just describing my one word. My word is passionate.
Come on, Larry, you have to participate.
Larry's shy. I think he needs some help. This is a hard question. Yes, he does talk. I would say maybe energetic.
Energetic.
Yeah.
Deal. Passionate, energetic.
You're very energetic.
And the elder statesman.
Gosh. Dude, this is a killer. This is a killer question.
This is why, yeah, I put the pressure on.
I would have to.
This is not your regular talk show, guys. We're getting to the deep, nitty-gritty issues.
4 words: energetic, passionate, right?
Good looking.
Good one. That's 2. I'll say loud.
Loud.
Just say it.
Okay, we'll ask the crowd. How's that? What's the last word?
No, for these guys, not for me.
That's not working.
Why is everybody laughing?
I think the 4th word would be Larry and Larry.
The 4th word is Larry.
Yeah, it's Larry.
I agree.
The joke is this: if we find out Everfound is trademarked, the band is going to be officially named And Larry.
And Larry. The last show I was at, Larry had to get his hair specially done halfway through because it got ruined. That was fun. All right, here we go. Okay, now we'll get some real questions. Okay, this is a good one. Man, tell us your story and why you guys do the music that you do.
Yeah, our story goes back a long ways, but we won't go that far. We came to this country with our family in 1996, never thinking we'd ever be a band or musicians by any stretch or means. We just came here looking for a better life, basically.
we never, the last few years, I guess the story of the band is like, well, when we, in our house, by the way, my parents are here tonight, and my parents do so much for us. My dad runs sound, and my mom does everything. So if you want to, please give them a round of applause. What happens at our house is as soon as you hit 7 years old, you are made, no questions about it, to take piano lessons, classical piano like Beethoven, Mozart, all that good stuff. So all of us, we played piano. Larry is incredibly good. He's a lot better than I think. But all of us grew up playing piano, so that was like our musical background, I guess, you know what I mean? And then we started growing up, and we were going to this church that didn't have a worship band, and we started playing worship, and then Ruslan felt like he wanted to write his own original songs.
Yeah, and when I wrote some of my first original songs, we sang them to people, just like a group of people like you guys. And we started getting letters from kids saying, hey, your song changed my life, your song, you know,
help me stop cutting myself.
Help me stop cutting myself, or whatever, you know, those kind of things. And to us, like that started, you know, that kind of started opening up to where, you know, maybe God is using us. Maybe God is using us to change people's lives through this music, through what we do. And we just, out of the certain crazy circumstances we were in, God was just completely leading us into this ministry, really, is what it is.
So I mean, that's kind of a little background.
Yeah, and that, I guess that kind of answers the question of why we do what we do, is because of those letters, it's because of those...
I love you!
No, that's awesome, guys.
Because of those people that, you know, listen to our music, that come to the shows and are changed, and that, you know, we feel so honored to be part of that. We feel so honored to be part of affecting somebody's lives like that.
Yeah, I mean, music speaks this generation. It's just so good to have acts like you out there that have a positive message and just, man, a great heart and a right heart, and that's just, it's so good. I mean, right, guys, they have a good message. Well, then I guess kind of piggybacking off that question, you kind of touched on it a bit. I mean, where do you guys find your inspiration to write the songs that you write?
Honestly, man, like, it could be like a conversation. You'll be sitting at a Starbucks and somebody's conversing in the corner. Yes, I did say conversing. And you're kind of, I mean, you're not like listening with an evil intent or whatever, but you're just like, that's a cool conversation. And then something jumps out at you, like a phrase, you know, or you're watching a movie and
yeah, it's a lot
jumps out.
It's kind of a nerdy fact, but Ruslan actually watches all movies with like a notebook and a pencil. and he like writes entries about, not entries, just cool thoughts.
No, that's
not like diary entries.
Entry sounds like you're writing a diary, that's neat.
It's a manly thing. I think another big thing is just personal experiences, you know? I think that's the biggest one. You go through something, you sit down, you write a song about it. Sometimes you can't get over it until you write a song about it. So I encourage all of those people, writers out there, right there. I want to encourage you guys to just sit down and just write it out. Because if you write it out, I'm telling you, you're going to find a voice that's unique to only you. And people want to connect with each other. And if you write poetry, if you write song, if you write whatever, just keep writing.
That's so good, man. Yeah, I mean, just writing just kind of helps you find your voice. And, you know, it's one thing to think of something, but it's another thing to see it written down on paper, and that's just so good. And anybody else have any? Larry? I'm going to put you on the spot the whole time. Poor Larry. He doesn't want to. Alright, I'm going to ask Larry every question directly until he answers one. It's going to happen. Who thinks Larry needs to answer at least one question tonight? It's going to happen.
Oh my God.
Alright, man. Well, last week, a bunch of us here in this auditorium, we had winter camp last week. Who was at winter camp? Who loved winter camp last week? It's so good. Well, man, we were at Veteran Camp and we talked a lot about everyone's desire to be known. Like, we all kind of want to be known. We don't want our name to go under the rug or to be average. So, I mean, you guys are trapping a lot and getting a lot of attention, you know, with the band and everything right now. So, basically, the question is, how do you balance the potential of the fame that you guys might have while staying true to your faith?
You know, I guess I'll start, and then if you guys want to continue. I thought a lot about that, and you deal with it a lot. And we've been playing music full time for 2 years, but we've been touring and playing a lot longer than that. And it's getting to the point where, like, in Colorado, and especially in our hometown, like, you go out and you meet people or whatever, and you go to the bank, and they'll know who you are, or you go to Burger King and they know who you are, that kind of thing. It's like, I wish that, honestly, like, my desire would be, if you're up here and everybody's listening, the second you get off, nobody knows who you are. Because, like, you realize the bottom line is this, at least for me, like, God gave you something. It's not something that you own. It's not something that, it's not about you. You know what I mean? Like, tomorrow I can wake up and God's going to take away my voice, and that's it. You know? And it's just like trying to keep in that mindset that what you have is given to you. It's not yours. You know what I mean?
That's so good. Yeah, I think a big thing for me is servanthood. You know what I mean? It's not so much about being known, or I guess the best way to be known is to affect other people's lives. You know, and that doesn't mean it doesn't have to be on a widespread, you know, super popular level. You know, if you truly affect somebody's life for the positive, if you truly just serve somebody and just love on somebody, that's going to stay with that person. You've affected that person's lives for the, you know, for the rest of their lives. You might have even altered the course of their life to go, you know, in a positive direction. You know, and that's so huge. And I feel like that's what we as a band, like, have been called to do. We feel, you know, we've been called to serve people. We've been called to affect people's lives in that way.
That's great.
Also, I think, you know, you still kind of let it sometimes gets to your head, like you play like big festivals or something, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're that guy from the band. And I guess sometimes one of us will get too cool, you know, let it get too Larry. We just, I guess and gets a haircut and stuff. No, but you just have to surround people around, like, be surrounded by the people that keep you grounded, and for us that's our family. And a big thing, I guess, for us is because we're brothers, we know each other very well, and if somebody is not being themselves, we just get on each other's case and beat each other. With love. Beat each other with love.
Perfect. I didn't know there's any other way to do that. That's awesome, man. That's so good. Do you guys ever, like, I mean, your four brothers, you're together all the time. Do you guys ever just get irritated at each other? Heck yes. Larry finally speaks.
I mean, that's with all family. I mean, of course, you get tired of each other and sometimes want to kill each other, but Larry, you want to kill me sometimes? But yeah, it's just a love thing, you know?
Yeah. I have a feeling Jan is an antagonist. Is Jan the one that irritates everybody? That's what I... You don't irritate me. I think you're great.
I'm pretty good at you know, I'm pretty good at that, I guess, at irritating people. But I think each of us have very special gifts, and we know each other's special gifts, so we can totally play off of it. But I think on a more serious note, like, you have to be careful. You know what I mean? Like you can't take anything to heart. Like, and even if you do, you have to sit down and you have to just, like, talk it out and be honest and just, like, you know, hey, you screwed up, and just take it. You know what I mean? Just, you're a guy, take it. Or you're a girl.
I don't know. It's a universal message. It's okay.
I think it's just like any family, honestly. Yeah, you get tired of each other and you need that alone time, but at the end of the day, your family, and you know, it's all good.
Good, man, I love it. Well, you guys have wrote, like, I've listened to a lot of your music, you've wrote a lot of awesome songs, so I guess just a question for each of you, just to kind of, and you can just say it just one word, or, you know, explain a little bit, but, you know, which song that you guys do would you say speaks the most to each of you individually? Like, is there one song in particular that really touches your heart, or that you have a buy into?
I think for me, one of the songs is "Someone." We sang tonight acoustically. That's one of the songs that, you know, the verse particularly, like, just really, the whole song just really speaks to me.
Yeah, me too. Someone is definitely one of my favorite songs. I refer to the songs we write as kids, so I don't know if you can have a favorite kid, but if I could, it'd probably be Someone. But honestly, like, we just came back from 10 days riding out in Nashville, and we wrote a lot of songs, and I feel like our best song is yet to be written, you know, so it's awesome.
Well, I gotta agree on Someone, but I guess the one that I really enjoy playing on stage would be something more energetic, like Forget Me Nots, or the last song we did, Believer.
Yeah, that's a great song. First time I heard that one.
I like She Said. I just like it because
It's about your
it's
girlfriend?
cool. No.
Oh, is that true?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's just the whole song, like, to me, just, you know, for each person it might mean whatever, but for me it just talks about how charm can be very deceptive, and you just gotta be careful and not listen to what she said.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's a great song. That's a really good message. Now, you guys, I mean, you said you were in Nashville for 10 days. You guys have been all over. Like every time I call you, Nikita, you're somewhere else and you're exhausted. I'm catching you at the worst time. So I'm sorry. It's always my fault. But man, like, you guys are just doing it. You guys are pursuing your dream. You're doing something that you're passionate about. So, man, if we have just young people in this room tonight that, man, they want to pursue a dream or pursue a passion in their life, what would you tell them about pursuing their dreams the way you guys are?
Honestly, number one, pray. Because God can open doors that nobody else is going to open, and He can close doors nobody else is going to close. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, the whole world, we say this, but we forget it. The whole world is in His hands. And He owns, we're talking about music, right? Whoever's passionate about music.
Dreams, whatever.
Oh, dreams. Sorry. Like, He owns every industry, you know what I mean? Sometimes you feel so overwhelmed. But number one, pray and really seek His will in your life. Number two, if you're a musician, I don't know much about anything else, but if you're a musician, you gotta write and you gotta play your freaking guts out. Whether that's piano, whether that's writing songs, whether that's singing. So I guess those two things. And everything else is just gonna fall into place. Seek first the what, the kingdom of God, and everything else is gonna follow. So
It's good, man.
Just echo that. I agree with that completely. Yeah, it all starts in your heart. It all starts with finding out who you were made to be, or what you were made to be. You know, it's just seeking out God, seeking out the one that made you. I think that's the beginning of it all. And you can't just kind of sit there and just wait for it to hit you over the head, because it won't. You gotta pray, you gotta look, but you also gotta go. You gotta do stuff. Don't just sit around and wait for something to happen to you.
Yeah, you can't really just adding to what you guys say. Like you said, it's not just gonna be like, psst, oh my gosh, my dream's here. You know, I'm a famous painter or rock star or whatever you want to be. It just, everything, you know, worth having is takes a lot of work, and you go through a lot of pain to get it. So just commitment and hard work, adding to what you say.
That's awesome, man. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard has it been to get to where you guys are at now? Like 10 being the hardest and 1 being it was like super easy.
Are you kidding? It was like 0.5.
That's what I thought. That's why I asked the question. I remember it was really easy.
Honestly, man, as a family, I know that there's people out there that have got it a lot harder than we do, you know? And God is just blessing us, and His favor is just like totally pouring out on us. And I mean, we don't deserve to be up here, you know what I mean? Like, we don't deserve to be, you know, singing in front of a lot of people and you know, our songs being played everywhere and stuff like that. Like, we don't deserve to that kind of stuff, but it's just God's favor. It's been hard. I mean, I can't say it's been easy, but everything that's hard is worth it.
Yeah, definitely. You said it yourself. You call me kid, and he's exhausted all the time. So, I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work, but at the same time, you know, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it doesn't feel like work. So it's hard to say.
That's awesome, man.
Well, I agree with what Rashawn said. Just to add on,
I'm alright. Why?
but I lost my thought.
That's all right. I know it was a good one.
I had to say, but I just lost it.
That's all right. Larry, are you mad at me? I picked on you a lot tonight. Are we so friends?
It happens all the
All right,
time.
does it? Good. I don't want to be that guy. All right, hey, well, I got just one more question to ask. Before I ask this question, man, I just want you guys to know, after the show, you'll have an opportunity to, man, meet these guys, get a picture, get an autograph. They'll be right over there by the merchandise tent. You can ask them a question. If you want to ask them, I'm sure the questions I wrote down is not questions you're going to be asking them, but you can ask them anything, you know, anything you want. No holds barred. Anything, whatever. So, I just got one more question, and then we're going to transition to just another section of the night. And what message do you want people leaving with from your shows?
I'll answer this question. The guys are going to get behind their instruments. Honestly, man, like, I just hope that when people come to our shows and they experience what, you know, the Everfound show, I really wish that people would come away thinking and realizing that they're made for something bigger. And it's not just about you know, fun and games. It is, but like there's a reason why we're so incredibly complicated. You know what I mean? Like every single one of us is like a world. If you think about it, we kind of are. And there's a reason why God created us, and there's a reason why He sent His Son to die for us. And I think our mission is accomplished when somebody walks away from your show thinking something along those lines.
That's awesome, dude. That's a great answer. Can you guys give it up for giving us a little bit of time?
Well, you guys can stand up.